Dr. Elias Vorn leaned back in his chair, rubbing his tired eyes. The small medical bay on the frontier colony of Nova Kira had seen little action today, just the routine checkups and a few minor injuries from mining accidents. Yet, despite the calm, Elias felt the restless pull of the stars outside the viewport. He had always been fascinated by the galaxy, its endless possibilities, the strange worlds yet unexplored, and the civilizations that might exist beyond human reach. But tonight, nothing in the universe could have prepared him for the visit that was about to change his life. A sudden alarm echoed through the colony. Not the usual emergency signal for an accident or equipment failure, but a foreign one, unfamiliar and precise. Elias frowned, rising from his chair. The airlocks hissed as a sleek silver vessel descended from the atmosphere, its shape unlike any ship he had seen. It shimmered under Nova Kira's twin suns, reflecting light like a jewel, and then came to a perfect stop above the landing pad. Security officers were the first to approach. Their tense expressions and clipped voices told him something extraordinary was happening. "Dr. Vorn," Lieutenant Mara called, "they've requested you specifically, something about an urgent medical matter involving extraterrestrials." "Not this close, not this formally. Aliens," he repeated, skeptical but intrigued. "What kind of aliens?" Most of the Interstellar Medical Council avoided humans entirely, dismissing them as clever but too primitive for interspecies matters. Yet now, a mysterious alien delegation had singled him out. He didn't have time to question it. Security led him to the landing pad, where the ship's ramp descended like a silver waterfall. Out stepped beings unlike anything he had imagined. They were tall, graceful, with translucent skin that shifted colors with every subtle movement. Their eyes were wide and deep, reflecting intelligence beyond anything Elias had ever seen. One among them, a female, approached him with dignity, her posture regal, her voice like the hum of distant stars. "I am High Regent Selira," she said. "Our people are in grave need. You have been chosen because only a human mind can solve what threatens our most precious. Encourage." He passed corridors lined with what appeared to be bioluminescent panels, their glow reflecting off his anxious face. Eventually, they reached a large chamber. There, lying on a platform that seemed both mechanical and natural, was the being who had summoned him. A young female alien, her body pale and fragile, covered with intricate markings that shimmered faintly. Her chest rose and fell with difficulty, each breath shallow and labored. Elias stepped closer, scanning the monitors that displayed her vitals. His eyes widened. Her physiology was unlike anything he had studied, even with his extensive research in xenobiology. Her heart rate fluctuated unpredictably, her neural activity spiked erratically, and the readings from her organs defied his understanding. Every system was in delicate, dangerous imbalance. "Princess Lysera," Selira said softly, "she is my daughter. She has fallen ill and our greatest minds have failed to save her. You must help her." To fail here would mean more than just a patient lost. The Queen's trust, the survival of an important interstellar alliance, perhaps even political stability could hang on his actions. He forced himself to calm down, drawing on years of medical training. "Show me everything," he said. "I need data, symptoms, history." "Anything you have." He noticed subtle differences in tissue response, minute irregularities that suggested the illness wasn't just random. It was adaptive, almost intelligent in its progression. Hours passed as he studied her, working quietly with precision. Alien doctors hovered nearby, their expressions a mix of doubt and curiosity. They whispered among themselves, exchanging glances. Elias could feel their skepticism, the unspoken thought that a human could never truly comprehend the intricacies of their biology. But he ignored it. He worked late into the night, measuring, analyzing, adjusting. Every solution he considered was tested against her unique physiology. Nothing worked perfectly, yet nothing completely failed. His human intuition, the combination of learned skill and instinct, allowed him to see what their technology could not. Finally, he leaned back, exhausted but resolute. "I think I understand her condition," he said. "It's a metabolic cascade. Something triggers it in response to environmental stressors, and it accelerates, damaging her organs in sequence. But I can stabilize her temporarily. Then we need a more permanent solution. Our survival and hers is in your hands. But more than that, it would require humanity itself. The patience, empathy, and ingenuity that had allowed humans to thrive even in the harshest corners of the galaxy." As he prepared his instruments, he glanced at the young princess. Despite her frailty, there was a spark in her eyes, a life that refused to be extinguished. That spark ignited something within him, a determination that would not be denied. Hours turned into the night as Elias worked tirelessly, balancing her fragile systems, adjusting treatments, and monitoring responses. Every movement, every calculation was precise, every decision weighted with the gravity of life and death. He improvised tools where alien devices failed, blending human ingenuity with alien technology in ways no one had attempted before. Finally, as the first light of Nova Kira's twin suns streamed through the chamber, the princess's vitals stabilized. Not fully healed, but stable. Her breathing was even, her heart steady. A faint smile touched her lips, the first sign of comfort since the illness began. Selira approached him, her expression a mixture of relief and awe. You have done what no other has. You have saved her life even for now. Words cannot express my gratitude. Humanity had proven itself here, not through force or weapons, but through thought, care, and courage. The Queen's daughter was safe, at least for now, and the galaxy had taken notice, though Elias could not yet know how far this recognition would reach. He allowed himself a brief moment to rest, knowing that tomorrow would bring new challenges, new dangers, and perhaps rewards beyond his imagining. For now, though, he had done the impossible. A human had saved an alien princess, and that, he realized, was only the beginning. Dr. Elias Vorn barely had time to rest. The princess's condition, though stabilized, remained precarious. Her vitals fluctuated in ways that no human or alien medical system could fully predict. Elias watched the monitors intently, his mind racing to understand the intricate dance of her biology. Every organ, every system seemed to react to interventions unpredictably, as if her body itself were resisting and adapting at the same time. High Regent Selira remained nearby, her posture calm but her gaze unwavering. "She has never been this ill before," she said quietly. "Even our oldest healers were unable to slow her decline. It's like a chain reaction that accelerates organ failure. Your instruments are precise, but they react slowly to the subtle changes her body is making. I'll need to improvise treatments based on observation, intuition, and constant adjustment. Technology alone won't save her. We need to respond in real time to her body's signals. We need creativity." He observed the princess's reactions to every minor adjustment in medication, temperature, and even lighting in the room. Her body was like a puzzle, pieces shifting constantly, and no single solution would fit perfectly. Yet Elias found patterns where others had seen only chaos. He noticed that her heart rate would stabilize briefly whenever the room temperature dropped slightly, but her neural activity spiked at the same time. Her breathing improved when a certain low-frequency hum resonated through the chamber, but her liver functions weakened simultaneously. Each response was contradictory, impossible to reconcile with conventional medical logic. Elias paused, thinking, "It's adaptive," he murmured. "Her body changes to survive, but it fights itself in the process. It's learning, reacting, almost as if it can think. It's advanced, yes, but not invincible. I can exploit these responses." He created hybrid instruments using their advanced tech and human surgical tools, designed to respond instantly to fluctuations. The alien scientists watched him skeptically, whispering to one another. One of them finally spoke hesitantly. "Doctor, your methods are untested. If you fail, she may not survive." But inaction is not an option. Elias noticed a subtle pattern in her breathing, a tiny irregularity that suggested a blockage in her airway response. Using a combination of alien suction devices and a human-inspired technique he improvised, he cleared the obstruction just in time. The monitors stabilized, and her eyes fluttered open weakly. Selira exhaled a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. "You saved her again," she said softly. Elias allowed himself a brief nod. "It's temporary. We need a long-term solution. Her body will not remain stable on these methods alone." They had never seen a human operate with such precision, calmness, and insight under extreme pressure. As the night continued, Elias discovered another complication. The princess's metabolism was producing toxic byproducts at an alarming rate. Her organs were struggling to filter them, and conventional methods would only slow the process, not stop it. He realized he needed to perform a procedure that combined surgery and chemical intervention, a hybrid approach no one had ever attempted. "I can stabilize her further," he explained to Selira, "but the final step will require surgery. It's risky, yes, but it's the only way to save her permanently. That is forbidden unless absolutely necessary. Failure could be catastrophic. Do what you must. He had to adjust constantly, responding to unpredictable reactions from the princess's body. Every move, every incision, every adjustment was precise. The alien scientists observed silently, realizing that human ingenuity was something they had underestimated. During the procedure, Elias noticed an anomaly deep within her cellular structure. It was subtle, almost invisible, but it could either stabilize her permanently or cause irreversible harm. The alien advisors were hesitant to interfere. Their systems could not detect it clearly. Elias knew the decision had to be made quickly. His human intuition guided him. He adjusted the treatment, carefully manipulating the anomaly without triggering it negatively. Sweat ran down his face, but his hands remained steady. Hours passed, each one stretching into eternity. The princess's vitals fluctuated dangerously at times, but Elias adapted. He had to combine every skill he had, human intuition, alien technology, and surgical precision. Slowly, her body began to respond positively. Finally, as dawn broke across Nova Kira, the monitors showed stable readings. The princess's breathing was even, her heart steady, and her metabolism no longer produced dangerous toxins. She was alive. She was going to survive. Celira approached him, her expression a mixture of awe and relief. You have done what none of our greatest minds could. You have saved her life. She will need careful monitoring and gradual recovery. But yes, she is alive. That is what saved her. As he sat beside the princess, monitoring her recovery, he thought about the road ahead. The surgery was successful, but her recovery would be delicate. And there would be consequences, political, scientific, and perhaps personal, for a human who had succeeded where advanced alien minds had failed. Yet for now, Elias allowed himself a moment to breathe. He had done the impossible. A human had saved an alien princess, and in doing so had proven that humanity's strength was more than technology or numbers. It was ingenuity, courage, and the ability to act decisively when all else failed. The princess stirred slightly, her eyes opening to meet his. A faint smile touched her lips. Elias felt a surge of relief. He had kept her alive through the night, through the chaos of unpredictable biology and alien skepticism. She was safe for now. Celira watched him, her expression unreadable but her eyes shining. You have earned our respect, she said. But know this, the galaxy watches now. Your actions here may ripple farther than you realize. He had faced a challenge no human had encountered before, and he had succeeded. The journey was far from over, but humanity had made its mark. And for the first time, Elias truly understood the weight of being a human in a galaxy full of civilizations that underestimated him. He was a healer, a thinker, a problem solver, and now, perhaps, a bridge between worlds. Elias had barely slept. The night after the princess's surgery had been tense, with every beep of the monitors forcing him to check her vitals, every flicker of the readings demanding a decision. Even now, with the first light of Nova Kira's twin suns spilling through the chamber, he knew the most difficult part of the journey was yet to come, guiding her through recovery. Her body was stable, yes, but fragile. The metabolic cascade he had corrected during surgery could easily return if her systems were stressed. Elias adjusted the sensors, tracking oxygen levels, neural activity, and organ performance. Every reading told a story, every fluctuation demanded attention. The alien doctors who had once doubted him hovered silently, unsure of how to act. Their systems were precise, but they lacked the human intuition that had saved her. The princess stirred slightly, her eyes fluttering open. She was pale, her markings dim, but the spark of life was unmistakable. Elias leaned closer. "Good morning, Lysera," he said softly. "You're doing well, you've been very brave." Elias could see the struggle in every motion. Her species' biology, so different from human physiology, made every recovery step unpredictable, yet there was progress. Celira entered the room quietly, observing from a respectful distance. "You've done something remarkable," she said, her voice low, almost reverent. "I cannot fully express the gratitude of our people. You have saved my daughter, and perhaps our entire lineage." Elias moved quickly, analyzing the data. This wasn't a failure of surgery, it was a reaction he had not anticipated. "Her body is reacting to the surgery," he murmured. "It's adaptive, almost as if it's testing the changes we made. I need to intervene before the cascade begins again." "Doctor, our systems cannot stabilize her in this state. Perhaps the surgery was premature." Tiny doses were released in precise patterns, responding instantly to each shift in her vitals. He monitored her breathing, noting how subtle changes in room temperature and air composition affected her stability. It was like conducting an orchestra where every instrument was alive and unpredictable. Hours passed. The princess's body resisted and adapted in ways Elia's had never seen. At one point, her neural spikes became so intense that the alien monitoring systems began to fail. Human intuition, quick improvisation, and careful observation were the only ways forward. Elia's remained calm, using a combination of tactile adjustments and mental calculations to guide her physiology. Selira watched silently. Her confidence in Elia's was growing, but she remained tense. "Doctor, she is the heir to our people. Failure is not an option," she said softly. "I understand," Elias replied, "but success requires patience, not fear." He had guided her through the most critical phase of recovery, but he knew this was only temporary. He began to examine her in more detail, looking for underlying issues that could cause setbacks. That's when he noticed something unusual: subtle irregularities in her cellular structure, tiny anomalies that could indicate a latent problem. These anomalies weren't dangerous yet, but if left untreated, they could cause permanent organ failure. "This is unexpected," he said quietly. "Her cells, they're adapting too quickly. They may reject the surgical changes if I do not act. I notice patterns that machines cannot see. Her body is learning. We need to guide it carefully or the cascade will return." Yet Elias knew it was the only way to ensure long-term survival. As he prepared, Selira approached him. "Doctor, you risk more than her life. If this fails, it could strain relations between our people and yours. Some may see this as a human intrusion into our sacred practices." "I cannot let fear decide her fate." Midway through the procedure, the princess's body reacted violently. Cells rejected the adjustments, and vital signs plummeted. Elias acted immediately, improvising a stabilizing technique he had learned from human emergency medicine. Using rapid adjustments to chemical delivery and micromanipulation, he guided her physiology back into balance. Hours stretched into an endless dance of adaptation and intervention. Elias' body ached, his mind strained, but he refused to relent. Every fluctuation in her vitals was a signal, a piece of the puzzle that required interpretation and immediate action. At one point, her eyes opened, weak but aware. She tried to speak, her voice a faint whisper. Elias leaned closer. "You're doing very well," he said softly. "Stay strong, almost there." Selira approached him once more. "Doctor, you have done what no other has dared. You have saved my daughter and perhaps our entire future. Words cannot express our gratitude." Some nodded, others exchanged glances that suggested respect and wonder. They had underestimated humans, as many had before. But now, the evidence was undeniable. Human intuition, creativity, and courage had succeeded where advanced alien systems had faltered. As Elias monitored the princess through the evening, he reflected on the journey so far. Each step had demanded ingenuity, calm under pressure, and the ability to adapt to the unknown. Humanity's strengths, observation, problem-solving, and courage had carried him through. He realized now that being human was not a weakness in the galaxy, it was a unique advantage. The princess stirred again, her eyes focusing on him. A faint smile crossed her lips. Elias felt a surge of relief. She was alive, stable, and stronger than she had been before. Selira placed a hand on his shoulder. "Doctor, there is something you must know. Your actions here have not gone unnoticed. Our people and others beyond our world are watching. What you have done may change how humanity is viewed across the stars." He had acted out of necessity, compassion, and skill, not for recognition. Yet he understood now that humans had made their mark. This was more than saving one life. It was proof that human creativity and courage could stand alongside the greatest civilizations in the galaxy. He spent the night by the princess's side, monitoring her progress, adjusting treatments, and ensuring her recovery continued without setbacks. Every small improvement reinforced his belief in the potential of human ingenuity. As dawn approached once more, Elias allowed himself a moment to reflect. The journey had been perilous, exhausting, and filled with uncertainty. But through it all, he had relied on the uniquely human ability to observe, adapt, and act decisively under pressure. The princess had survived, and humanity had proven itself in a galaxy that often underestimated it. For Elias, this was only the beginning. The challenges ahead would be greater, the stakes higher, and the recognition perhaps unexpected. But he knew one thing with certainty. When humanity acted with courage, intelligence, and compassion, it could achieve the impossible. And in the quiet moments of the early morning, as the first light touched Nova Kira, Elias understood the truth of his journey. A human had saved an alien princess. And that human, himself, was about to discover that the reward for such an act would be unlike anything he had ever imagined. Days passed slowly as Dr. Elias Vorn remained by the princess's side, watching her recovery with unwavering attention. Each moment was tense, yet filled with hope. Lysera's body had survived the critical phases of surgery, but now she needed time to rebuild strength. Her skin gradually regained its soft glow, the intricate markings pulsing faintly as though life itself had returned to them. Elias monitored her vitals constantly, adjusting treatments subtly, guiding her body as it learned to function without the artificial stabilization he had provided during surgery. The alien doctors, who had doubted him so intensely at the beginning, now watched in quiet awe. They were learning something they had never considered. Human intuition could rival advanced alien technology. Elias' calm determination, his careful observation, and his creative problem-solving had not only saved the princess, but it had also revealed something important about humanity. Salira remained a constant presence, though she gave Elias space to work. Sometimes she would sit quietly, her eyes on Lysera, and other times she would consult the alien advisors, asking questions about the treatment he had devised. Elias answered each query patiently, careful to explain his methods in ways that could be understood without misunderstanding. As the days turned into weeks, Lysera's strength returned. She could sit up for longer periods, her breathing steady and her pulse strong. Small smiles appeared on her face, the first real sign of recovery beyond the monitor's signals. Elias found himself smiling too, though exhaustion never left his body. Humanity had done what many had thought impossible. He had saved a life that many considered unreachable. One morning, as Elias checked the latest scans, Salira entered the chamber, her expression solemn but proud. "Doctor," she said, "the princess is ready to leave the recovery bed. She will walk within the hour. It is time for her to return to full life. Her body has stabilized completely, and her organs are functioning normally. With careful guidance, she will continue to improve every day." Elias simply nodded, trying to hide his emotion behind his calm demeanor. The alien court had gathered to witness this moment. For centuries, no outsider had ever been allowed to witness the princess's recovery firsthand. Now a human, an ordinary man from a distant world, stood at the center of their attention. The room was filled with silence, a mix of anticipation and respect. Salira approached Elias and spoke softly. "Doctor, you have done more than heal my daughter. You have shown us the value of humanity. Your mind, your courage, your compassion, they are unlike anything we have ever known." The alien court murmured among themselves, a sound that was both foreign and strangely respectful. Lysera, now sitting with the aid of a hover chair, extended her hand toward Elias. Her touch was weak but deliberate, and he took it gently. "Thank you," she said, her voice soft but clear. "You saved my life. I will never forget you. You survived this because you fought with every part of yourself. In recognition, he shall be honored. This is not a reward of wealth or power, though those can be offered. It is a gift of trust, of knowledge, and of connection. Dr. Elias Vorn, you shall be granted the Symbiotic Codex. It carries within it knowledge and abilities that allow a being to expand their understanding, intuition, and insight. It has been given only to those who have earned the highest respect. You are the first human ever to receive it." He knelt slightly as a gesture of respect, unsure of how to respond to beings who regarded him with such honor. The artifact hovered before him, a small orb of pulsating energy, shimmering with colors that seemed alive. As Elias reached out, it responded to his touch, glowing brighter and sending a subtle warmth through his body. Knowledge, patterns, and possibilities seemed to flow into him, not words or images, but understanding, intuition, and awareness that he had never experienced. Salira's voice broke through his thoughts. "This gift is not just for you. It is a bridge. It connects humanity with our people, with understanding that may guide the galaxy toward collaboration and peace. Use it wisely. I feel alive because of you, and now you are part of something greater. You are connected to us in ways I cannot yet describe." Humanity had been given a chance to prove itself in the galaxy, and he was now its representative in a way he had never imagined. The court watched in silence, the alien delegates understanding the significance of the moment. Elias, a human from a small colony on the edge of known space, had achieved what few of their kind had. He had saved a life, demonstrated human ingenuity, and earned the respect of an entire species. For the first time, Elias allowed himself a deep breath, feeling a mixture of pride, awe, and humility. He had acted out of duty and compassion, yet the consequences were far greater than he had ever anticipated. The galaxy was opening in ways he could not have foreseen, and humanity's place within it was becoming clear. Celira stepped closer, placing a hand lightly on his shoulder. "Your people may not understand yet, Doctor, but what you have done today will resonate across worlds. You have shown the value of human thought, courage, and empathy. We will not forget it." Lysera, now able to stand with support, approached him. "When I am fully recovered, I want to learn more from you," she said. "About your people, your world, and how you think, there is much we can share. Together, we made this possible. Dr. Elias Vorn, you have not only saved a life but have reshaped perceptions. Our people will speak of this for generations. Your name will be remembered as a symbol of courage and wisdom." Now he had proven that humans were more than capable of standing among the stars, of solving problems that others deemed impossible. He looked at the princess, her eyes bright with renewed life, and then at Celira. "I never expected this," he admitted quietly. "I only did what I thought was right." Humanity acts not only with knowledge, but with morality, creativity, and courage. Today, you have given us a reason to see the galaxy differently. A human had saved an alien princess, had earned the respect of an entire species, and had been entrusted with a gift that symbolized trust, knowledge, and connection. It was a moment that would never be forgotten, not by him, not by the aliens, and perhaps not by the galaxy itself. He allowed himself a moment to simply breathe, to feel the enormity of the day. Humanity had proven itself, not through force or conquest, but through courage, ingenuity, and empathy. And Elias, in this quiet yet profound moment, understood that the true reward was not the artifact, not the honor, but the knowledge that humanity had earned a place among the stars. And as he looked at Lysera, fully awake, fully alive, and ready to embrace her life again, he knew that the journey was only beginning. Humanity had been recognized, and the galaxy had taken notice. The future was wide open, filled with possibilities that had never existed before. The morning sun of Nova Kira filtered gently through the windows of the princess's private chamber. "Doctor." Elias Vorn sat at a small table beside her, reviewing the final reports on her recovery. Lysera was now walking without support, her strength steadily returning. The monitors showed stable vitals across the board, and the complex anomalies in her biology had fully integrated, thanks to the careful guidance Elias had provided. Celira entered quietly, her expression proud but thoughtful. "Doctor," she said, "the princess has surpassed all expectations. Your methods, your courage, and your humanity have saved her and strengthened our people's faith in collaboration with yours. I feel alive in a way I never imagined. I have my life because of you, Elias, and I wish to learn more, not just about human medicine, but about your world, your people, and your ways." He realized that saving her life had created ripples far beyond the hospital room. They had begun to bridge worlds. The day's events had been carefully arranged. A ceremonial gathering was scheduled in the palace to honor Elias formally. He had been promised no riches, no titles, only recognition. Yet he knew that recognition from the Queen of Lysera's people and her court would be far more meaningful than any human accolade. When he arrived at the ceremonial hall, he was struck by its grandeur. The chamber was vast, its high ceilings adorned with intricate designs that shimmered softly with bioluminescence. The court had gathered, and alien delegates from distant worlds observed silently. The atmosphere was tense yet filled with anticipation. Celira stood at the center, her posture regal. She gestured toward Elias. "Today, we honor one who has proven that courage, ingenuity, and compassion know no species. Dr. Elias Vorn has saved the life of Princess Lysera, our heir, and in doing so has shown that humans are capable of greatness that cannot be measured by technology alone." Yet here, in the presence of beings whose civilization spanned galaxies, he was being acknowledged for the very qualities that made humans unique. Celira continued, "For his bravery, insight, and humanity, we grant Elias Vorn the Symbiotic Codex, a rare artifact of our people. It will enhance his understanding, intuition, and connection to the universe. He shall become a living bridge between our civilizations." He felt the gift not as power, but as clarity, a tool to see connections that had previously been invisible. Selira's voice echoed softly. Use this gift wisely. Your people may not understand it yet, but it will allow you to guide, teach, and heal in ways you never imagined. Humanity's potential is vast, Ilias. Today, you have proven it. His mind raced to comprehend the magnitude of the moment. He was a human from a small colony on the edge of explored space, yet here he stood, honored and trusted by one of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. The Codex was not only a gift, it was a symbol of faith, connection, and responsibility. Lysera approached him, her hand extended. I wish to learn from you, not just as a patient, but as a friend, as an ally. Humans have a spark I admire, and now I see it up close. Humans, who had often been underestimated in interstellar politics and science, had demonstrated qualities that even advanced civilizations respected. Ilias realized that this recognition was more than personal. It was a step forward for humanity itself. In the days that followed, Ilias worked closely with Lysera and her advisors. He shared human medical practices and approaches, blending them with alien techniques to improve care for her people. He discovered that the Codex gave him subtle insight, allowing him to predict outcomes and adjust treatments with unparalleled precision. Humanity's ingenuity, combined with the artifact, created possibilities that had never been imagined. Word of his success spread quickly. Other species began requesting his advice, not for human technology but for human perspective, the way humans thought, adapted, and solved problems. Ilias realized that humanity's true strength lay not in machines or weapons, but in creativity, courage, and empathy. One evening, as he walked with Lysera through the palace gardens, she turned to him. Ilias, you have changed everything. Our people see humans differently now. We trust you not because of strength, but because of your heart and mind. That is remarkable. It is proof that the galaxy can change when humans are part of it. Your courage has opened doors for all of us. Now he had forged connections, saved a life, and demonstrated that human ingenuity was not just practical but profound. Back in his private quarters, Ilias examined the Codex once more. The artifact's subtle energy resonated with him, not as a weapon or tool of power, but as a way to understand and guide. He realized that he now carried responsibility not just for Lysera or her people, but for humanity's role in the galaxy. The gift was both an honor and a duty, a reminder that humans were capable of shaping the future in ways previously unimagined. Weeks passed, and Lysera returned to her official duties, fully healed and vibrant. Ilias remained on Nova Kira for a time, assisting with the integration of human medical insights into the alien systems. Each day, he saw the ripple effects of his actions, the respect for humans, the collaboration between species, and the hope that courage and ingenuity could overcome even the most daunting challenges. One day, Lysera visited him quietly. Ilias, she said, I have learned much from you, but more importantly, I have learned to see what humans are capable of. Your actions have inspired not only me, but countless others. Our worlds are connected now in ways we could not have imagined. We are stronger together. He realized that his journey was only the beginning. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, and the future held adventures, discoveries, and challenges yet unseen. In the quiet of his quarters, Ilias allowed himself to reflect. He had saved a life, forged bonds between species, and witnessed the potential of humanity in a galaxy that often underestimated it. The Codex pulsed softly beside him, a reminder of trust, responsibility, and possibility. And as he looked toward the horizon, Ilias knew that this was not an ending, but a beginning. Humanity had been recognized, respected, and given a chance to shine. And he, Dr. Ilias Vorn, had been the bridge, proof that courage, ingenuity, and heart could change the course of the galaxy. With one last glance at the Codex and a deep breath, Ilias stepped into the future, ready to face whatever came next. The princess was safe. Humanity had been proven, and the stars were waiting.